Hey, it's Tina Forsyth here. Welcome to the second video in our free video series, the top 10 questions in regards to finding, hiring, and working with a virtual team. So our second question today, is what attributes should I be looking for when it comes to hiring a virtual support professional? I remember back in my corporate recruiting days, we had this saying that was basically, you're going to hire for personality and not just for skills. And there's a similar sort of philosophy in this virtual business world, in the online business world. When it comes to hiring a virtual support team, you need to hire for mindset and not just for skill set. And what I mean by that is there's actually two distinct mindsets out there when it comes to the people that you're hiring, the virtual support professionals that are out there. I want you guys as business owners to really know and understand this, because I think this is actually the root of many of the challenges and problems that I hear from people once they've hired somebody and they start to struggle with this person. A lot of times it comes down to this mindset question. Basically, people out there either have what we call a marketing mindset or a business mindset, or they'll have what I call a job mindset or an employee mindset. And what the difference is the people that you're hiring, it comes down to how they think about themselves and how they think about their own business. And it really comes down to, ultimately, what are they wanting to create? What do they want to be? Why are they doing what they're doing? For people who have a marketing mindset or a business mindset, they really get that they're an expert. They get that they're a professional. They get that they're a specialist, I should say. They really get and understand that they have a certain expertise, skill set, specialty, etc. that they're bringing to the table for you. And they approach the clients that they're working with from the perspective of, here's how I can help you. If you talk to someone and you share with them, your what's, your goals and vision and everything that you're working on, and they turn around and say to you, here's how I can help. That's great. Oh, you want to launch a membership site. Great. Well, here's how I can help you. I can do this, this, and this, boom, ba-doom, 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 etc. It's a very proactive kind of approach to working with a client. People who come from this mindset, they're very much telling you what they can do for you, right? The flip side of that is someone who's coming from kind of an employee or a job mindset, they're actually coming from the opposite perspective. And again, just to be clear, this isn't necessarily a negative per se, right? It just has a lot more to do with how people are thinking about themselves and the work that they're doing. And what they're doing is, or they have the best intention in place, really, when somebody's in this mindset. In most cases, they definitely do. But what they're doing is that they're waiting for you to tell them what to do. And this is why we call it a job mindset, right? Most of us have had a job of some kind. I'm sure for many of us along the way, we've had a job that usually was really clearly defined. Here's your role. Here's how you do it. Here's exactly what you need to do, etc., etc. All of us have been in jobs before. And when you're in a job, that is very clearly defined for you. So when people still bring this job mindset to working, say, for example, as a virtual assistant or something like that, they tend to approach their clients again still that way. They're coming to you and saying, you could have a great conversation, and they're like, oh, so you want to create a membership site? Great. How can I help you? Is what they'll say to you. Or they're asking some kind of question of, would love to help you. Just tell me what to do. Oh my gosh, that sounds great. Just let me know what I can do for you. I would be more than happy to do that. Right? The thing is, the key difference between these two mindsets is, in one case, the person's actually taking stuff off your plate as a business owner. They're actually removing stuff from your plate. They're freeing you up. In the other case, they're actually adding to your workload, in a sense. And I don't think people even kind of themselves necessarily realize that this is the effect that they're having. I mean, we've been training people in this for years, in particular in my online business manager training and throughout many of our VA training programs. We've been teaching people this, right? That when they're approaching you and saying, here's how I can help you, they're actually, coming to you as an expert with expertise, and they know what they need to do, and they have that kind of, training background and understanding to be able to do that. They're actually taking work off your plate. It's like, as a business owner, you're like, great. Go ahead, take it, do it. It's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling to have that. When somebody's coming to you and saying, how can I help you? We actually train people to not use that phrase at all. Sounds kind of funny to say, right? Because when somebody's asking that question, they're asking it from, with the best of intention. They're asking it with heart. They want to know, how can I support you? I love what you're doing. I would love to help you here. How can I support you? That question actually adds work to you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, because it's requiring you to sit down and tell somebody exactly what they need to do. which can be a burden. It's not that we're never going to tell people in our team what we need to do and all of that. There's always going to be an element of that, right? But in general, you want to hire people, you want to look for team members. In most scenarios, you're going to be looking for team members who really are coming to you and saying, here's how I can help you. This is what I can do for you. And in a lot of cases too, I find it quite interesting when I've talked to people over the years who have that kind of, they still have that employee or job mindset. In a lot of cases, they don't even realize they have it, or they don't even realize how it affects their clients. So we've had some really, but what's been really neat through some of the trainings and such we've done too, is when people kind of realize like, oh, I remember one gal who was in our OBM training program, we were talking about this one time, and she said to me, she's like, oh, entrepreneurs actually want to hear what I have to say. They want they want me to share my thoughts, to share my ideas, to brainstorm with them. They want me to come to them and say, this is how I can help you. Because in this woman's background, she came from a corporate background, I think working as an executive assistant or something like that, right? The people she worked for didn't want to hear that from her. So she kind of brought that habit, if you will, or that way of thinking to her business as an online business manager, an aspiring online business manager at that point, and came to realize that in this business world, it's actually quite different. As entrepreneurs, in most cases, most of us are looking for people who are going to come to us and say, here's how I can help you. We want you to be proactive. We want people to be proactive and approach us that way. So you need to really be able to consider that when it comes to who you're hiring on your team. There's a place and time definitely for some people who are coming maybe with more of an employee or job mindset. That may come up, in certain situations. But in a lot of cases too, more often than not, I know most of you are looking for people who are going to be more proactive, who are going to say, here's how I can help you, and kind of, take the bull by the horns, so to speak, in the various things that you need to have done in your business. And so really, we're going to talk in more detail about how to identify people on either, kind of from one side or the other in the Thrive hiring system. But just a really good rule of thumb you can use to get started is when you're talking to people, just see what is their response to you. Do they say to you, do they tell you, here's how I can help you? Or do they ask you, how can I help you? Again, a really subtle thing in some ways, but I know you can feel the difference of that when you really get and understand what it means. So until next time, the next one is video number 3, question number 3, and we're going to be diving into how to know what to delegate. What do you actually give to people on your team versus what do you keep and take care of yourself? So that's going to be our question for video number 3. We'll see you guys there. Take care.